Okay, let's now build that full stack app in Bolt. Let's get the instructions that we produced. Got them here. Um, I did update the AI assistant instructions to be a little bit more clear. Actually, I had ChatGPT take what I had developed, and it did so nicely. So um, that's what we see here. So use the Superbase knowledge source, present one key point at a time, emphasize key terms with bold, ask the employee, does that make sense, or more open-ended prompt. How might this apply in your first few days? Only proceed to next point after confirming understanding, or you've responded to a question the new employee has asked. Reinforce a sense of belonging, and then provide an example style. Let's dive into the welcome to Next Tech section. We thrive on innovation, collaboration. So, always a good idea to train the AI and to give it examples so that it can follow suit in its actual implementation. Now, I copied that and I was concerned that maybe I needed to improve the organizations and the flow and the clarity for Bolt. So I went to ChatGPT, Model 4.1, ChatGPT. I'm developing a full stack app in Bolt.new. Here's my draft instructions for developing that app. I'd like you to improve so that Bolt sees it as more crystal clear. This would include specific color style recommendations, but most importantly, can you help improve the organization to lead Bolt in creating the app step by step? So I then pasted in all that text, and what I got out was this Next Tech employee onboarding platform, clear description of the front end setup, the navigation bar, even with the color use, page definitions. Here's the landing page. Here's what to include on it. The onboarding page. Here's what to include on it. Um, Downloads from this URL. This is the URL for the employee handbook in Superbase. Below the download button, there will be a chat section and an employee input box. I've given the size, dimensions, the colors, the color of the submit button, backend setup. Um, it's saying where the employee handbook for onboarding is, adding an API connection to OpenAI. And anyway, this will be a line that needs to be in a .env file. We're going to have to put that in. This is the only actual code that we have to write. A summary table and then step-by-step instructions. So I'm just going to copy all this, and we're going to go to Bolt and put this in. So let's see if it can do it. I'll do the entire app from scratch and just test. This will take a second. So what you're seeing here is that it is creating all of these files. So superbase.ts is telling us we'll tell the app how to connect to the database. OpenAI will tell the app how to connect to OpenAI API, and what the chat responses and particularly prompt will be, what the navigation bar should be, what the home page should be, what the onboarding page should be. All of this script is being done just from the text that we provided. Now we're at the stage where it's now deploying this app that it has built. So we should see pretty shortly this app being displayed in a preview page. Any second now. Oh, before we do that, let's somewhere in here it's telling us that we need to make a connection to Supabase. Let's do that. Select the project that we already have created there, Nextech Employee Onboarding. Connect to it. Good. The onboarding assistant is up. One last thing that we have to do is go to code and find the .env file. And if you notice, we have for the OpenAI key just some generic placeholder. Well, I've given you the key. Hit the button below the video panel. This is it. You want to copy that. Oops. Copy that key. Control C. And replace this placeholder with the actual key. Save that here. And let the preview come back. So this page looks pretty good. Let's go to onboarding. Handbook not available. Let's just see how the AI assistant is doing. So it did pretty good. I don't like the onboarding question. We can do better. And it told us we had an error with the download, so let's attempt to fix on that. By the way, if it doesn't work, ask the Bolt assistant to help you fix it. But sometimes we need to give it a little help. So supabase.com. Yeah. So the one thing I wanted to get was the storage button. Here's that onboarding document to the right of it. If you click on the ellipsis, you can see the get URL. I'm going to ignore that. Here's the URL for the Supabase document, and I will also do a screenshot. So it's useful to have this error because this is how you work through it. So let me copy. Yeah. Okay, so it failed to load that document. Still waiting. Maybe it failed. Let's see if we're able to get it. It's opening up a web page. So let's just make one more change. So the download handbook button, when selected, is trying to open up a new tab in my browser. An error is displayed. PDF file not found. I don't want the file to be displayed. I just want the file to be downloaded when the button is selected. Shouldn't take long for that. We do have to adjust the entering conversation. So you can see now when I select that button, I get a file download. I can click on that. It will, oh, my issue is with my browser. So I'm sure that that file is downloads. I've done this a few times, so we're definitely getting the file. It's getting downloaded. So guess not. Regardless, let's focus on the AI assistant. That's good enough. The starting conversation for the onboarding assistant asks the new employee a generic question to get the session started. The starting conversation should explain what the assistant will be doing and begin with the first section in the onboarding document. It should start with a specific statement or question. Let's change that and see what it does. Should be the last thing that we need to do. We should have a working app at this after this is finished. Okay, let's give it a whirl. I'll just say yes. I could do something like, how does innovation is a nice word. How does it play out in practice as a new employee? Well, my ideas welcome. Cool. So on and on. I think I'd be good at this stage. It is kind of now possible to build this app for accessibility to everyone in the world. Hit the deploy button, and it's going to deploy it so that you can actually share a URL to run this. You can view this site at this location. So start onboarding, go to the onboard. Yes, same thing that we just saw. So we've got a deployable model and shareable model that could be shared with anybody in the organization. So success, text to full stack app. By the way, here are all the files, and the key elements are under the folder called SRC. You can see the pages here, home, onboarding, and really all of the specialized app elements are in this source folder in every one of these files. Cool.